am. Yes, we need to talk. What up? We had to cover Shop Talk exclusive. We got Nick and Roogle. What is going on?
Hey, hey.
Hey.
That's it. Just a hey. Happy Valentine's Day to the Happy Valentine's Day to the lovely people.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day, y'all.
Now it's so weird because Valentine's Day is usually like on the weekend. Or usually on like a Saturday because we got Friday, yeah. And then Side Chick Saturday. That's right.
Yep.
And now Valentine's Day is on a Sunday, and we all know how we as Americans change the narrative. You know how we change the narrative.
Sure do.
Because Valentine's Day, really wasn't what we make it, what we are making it as to be. But I'll participate in the gifts. I'm a participate in it. You know what I'm saying? What about Roogle? Are you big on Valentine's Day?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why? Because what it derived from?
No, just because I think I don't know. I just don't like it. I mean, not like okay, I think it has more credence than Sweetest Day, but also I ain't celebrating Flag Day either.
Flag Day. Do I get something for Flag Day? Because if I get something, I'm celebrating.
I don't know what you're supposed to give or whatever. Like I'm just trying to figure it out. But I maybe I give more credence. Well, St. Patrick's Day is a whole bunch different, than this. But yeah,
I celebrate. Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
All right.
Depending on what you like, but the narrative has changed, and we changed the narrative. So that's not a new thing when they say, why are they changing the narrative? We have been changing the narrative for years.
Yes.
Okay, so
on a lot of stuff.
Right. So that's a difference. Listen, usually I don't do Shop Talk on Sunday, but today we got to talk because this is just team too much. But the Valentine's Day, they changed the narrative on, just like the word nice. Change the narrative on that. Because remember, the word nice meant it was like you were unaware or ignorant to certain things. But then English language, you change the narrative. It's like, be nice, be ignorant. Anyway, y'all got to check into that.
Yes.
That's another show. But let's hurry up because I said I need my people. We got to talk about what's going on. There's so much going on these days. Let's just get it out the way. Now, I know most of us, we talked about the everybody was buzzing about the Gorilla Glue girl.
Oh, yes.
Now, the doctor that actually decided to go ahead and fix her hair, to get it out of her hair.
Glue out, yeah.
Now, it was some people feeling some type of way. Shout out to you. What is the Dr. Aboji? I can't pronounce it.
I can't pronounce his name.
Dr. Aboji. Mercy Health. He worked at Mercy Health. Did he? Girl, I said, listen, them black doctors that be coming in there, some of them be but Simon, he was a nice looking black doctor. I was like, okay.
So how he get way over there from way over here?
Well, but a lot of them do come to the country. Shout out to you, Dr. Cato.
Right.
The coldest cardiologist. We know him, right, Roogle?
Yep.
So you know what I mean? They come over, boom. Go ahead, do the doggone thing. But yeah, he decided to, he's a plastic surgeon, and he decided to reach out. Now, a lot of people were saying, he said a lot of people, we can talk about the groups because we just gonna talk. They were saying that he just wanted the notoriety. First of all, nobody else reached out to her to get it done. And I appreciated the fact that he did the legwork. He called the company and asked them what the components were, found out what it was, and say, okay, let me use this. Do I think she'll lose her hair? She might just go ahead and lose all her hair. We don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's worth a shot. Go ahead.
Okay, because it looked like, I watched the video of them doing the treatment, taking it out. This is the, and I don't want to sound crazy, but we don't know what she started off with.
Right. Did she start out?
You know what I'm saying? We didn't know what she started off with. But the other thing was, even when you look at how tight it was to the scalp, it really looked really thin too. Like her hair don't look as thick as Nick's.
Right.
Look, you know what I mean? So
right. yeah. That Nick hit it.
Uh-huh.
I don't hear nothing. I don't hear the.
But yeah, and then she was getting headaches. It was causing her not to be able to eat. And I'm sure
What's a chemical in
it
there?
was,
Listen,
yeah.
you gotta reach out to your cosmetologist, but you know that there's a thing called gorilla snot. And see the
Yeah.
gorilla snot, and I was aware of that. I was like, I just can't put snot in my hair. Like I got a visual and it's just not working. And so my daughter was like, no, that's she meant to get gorilla snot. But let's see, you know our people. Listen, we'll be like, listen, I know most of it won't be like getting gorilla glue because we know what gorilla glue is. However, a lot of people don't. They're like, oh, well, how much is that? Gorilla snot? This $12. This gorilla glue $2. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and use this. It got to do the same thing.
So,
You time out. You like time out?
so, no, because like it's not like you buy those products in the same section.
You don't. You don't.
You know what I'm saying? So like you wouldn't even like if you went to a hair store, you wouldn't be able to find gorilla glue.
No.
Who uses crazy glue for their eyelashes? I know somebody. They put
but do you find crazy glue in the hair store?
No.
Okay, you know, if somebody dares to do something dangerous and dumb, then I mean, he had to put in a lot of energy to go. Okay, I'm assuming that because they said that she was a mother of 5 and everything like that, and I'm making the assumption that she was she bought the stuff for the household.
All you have to do is have sex to become a mother.
But the point I'm saying is that they made it seem like she was that the kid when I hear mother of 5, I'm thinking they live with her, right? So it made me think that she was the main go get the stuff, buy the stuff.
Word to the country.
Exactly. She's a school teacher, so she knew better.
She a school teacher? Oh yeah. Okay, I got a prop.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I got that. But
okay, let me see the prop. Let me see.
It looks totally different from gorilla glue.
Yeah.
Gorillas don't even look the same.
That's gorilla snot.
Yes, I got that.
Okay, that's
gorilla. Weird. Oh, he got on a motorcycle jacket.
Yeah.
And a chain.
So you should have got the gorilla with the motorcycle.
She didn't make that mistake. She didn't.
No, it was not.
She made that mistake like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do because I don't got that. Let me show y'all, and just sprayed it all on her scalp. You know, I mean, that's my thoughts.
Like I said, the gorillas don't even look the same, so there's no way that you could mistake it. Gorilla glue is only in a hardware store. Gorilla snot is in the hair store or like the dollar store.
Oh, they got gorilla snot. So tell me about this gorilla snot. Ugh, I hate saying the word.
Gel. It's real thick.
Okay, so
well, this is called Gorilla Punk.
Yeah, that one is yellow. I have that one.
Oh Lord, see, it's just too much.
They have different ones, different gorilla snot, different kind of punk. They have another one that's in a red bottle, but their bottles are shaped like that.
Okay,
it's not spray.
Smell kind of good.
So it smell kind of good. That gorilla glue, don't. All right, let's carry on. You using some right now?
Yeah, I use some.
Okay, gorilla punk.
Gorilla Punk, like gorilla punk rocker. Like it's like a punk rocker. It's a picture of him
to keep their hair straight.
Oh, that's how you do the mohawk type thing.
He has a mohawk.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. That's
now this is a different brand, but you know, I mean.
Okay.
I didn't try to.
Thanks. Thanks.
I didn't try to punk my stuff.
Well, her stuff was flat down. Look at you.
You know
her stuff was flat down though. That's crazy. And all hard. I'm looking like, who puts glue in their hair?
Good though,
but listen, for the day, that hairstyle was forever. And it's listen. But with the crazy glue and the eyelashes, like this eyelash thing, it just is going way too far for me. You use a crazy glue on your eyelashes, like you want them.
It seemed like that would burn. It seemed like that would.
Yeah, the crazy glue. Yeah, you would think it would burn that close to your eyes, but
I would think so too.
Well, I mean,
if you listening, leave it. The crazy glue is the glue stuff, not your eyelashes to your eyes.
But would it be a case though? Like, do you really need to don't put in here? Does that need to be listed?
Obviously you do, because folks, now she was talking about if she didn't get it out of her hair, she was going to sue the gorilla glue company. How you suing somebody for your stupidity? That's all I want to know.
Do not put on skin.
Right. Like underneath your hair is skin. Your scalp is skin. So if it says do not use on, then common sense some people don't have common sense. So I guess you have to spell it out for them. But baby, she was not gonna be. She wasn't gonna win that case. She wasn't gonna win that case. So you wasn't gonna win that case, Tessica Brown.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, that's her name, Miss Brown. Okay, Miss Brown. Everybody, she gonna be famous for.
Gorilla-
Look, she gonna be
Gorilla
famous for
Girls.
being nice. The origin of the word nice.
This is what I wanted to say here. It seems like for this particular product that they say, do you snot your hair, right? Like I don't know if this is the same thing y'all talking about with the gorilla snot or not, but is that, I guess that's this terminology. I was looking on here to see what they say about safety on here, and I don't see anything.
Exactly, because it's for your hair.
Now the Gorilla Glue I have it in the junk drawer, but I'm a little nervous. My finger stuck because some clown had the nerve to put it on their lip. Do you really want to do all of that just to be noticed?
To be noticed and see if you can get something out of it, like no.
Come on, like why would you do that? Why would you put it on your lips, especially this close to Valentine's Day?
Right. You talking about the guy
and
with
you
the
got
cup?
a Valentine and your lips closed shut? Get out of here.
You talking about the guy who put the cup on his face?
Yeah, like why? Why?
He said I didn't believe that it was true. I thought she was making it up. And I'm like, you using a whole different product. And like, why don't you try it on a wig first? You know, I mean,
he had a red cup. It was a red cup.
Yeah,
right?
He put a silo cup on his face.
Get out of here. Like
he was probably one of the ones that talked about her like a dog too. And then turned around and tried it.
That's a mess. That's a mess.
He does that. Really.
That is a mess. There was a cake going around where they had the Gorilla Glue girl where somebody ordered that cake. So the girl made that cake. It was on the Shade Room. Nick, go ahead. On the Shade Room, what were the comments on the Shade Room?
Listen, my neighbor knows she.
Don't even worry about the neighbor. Tell me what was the comments on the.
But the comments were, didn't nobody make that? Didn't nobody order that cake? She lying. She just doing it for the clout. She don't have to do nothing for the clout.
Okay, stop. Now see, you're on the defense with her because we know her from this area as well. However, you're reading that. How you know it was read like that? How did you know that they typed it like that? Did they type it swinging their head and all that?
Probably, because the way everybody was saying, she lied, she didn't do it, you know, she did. Sis just doing it for the clout. You got skills, but you just doing that for the clout.
She can do whatever she wants. Shout out to you, Rashonda. That's my girl. Ohio doing it talent. She's a great baker. But guess what? It was on point. It don't matter what she did it as. And knowing the people that we know, somebody ordered that cake.
Yeah.
And they wanted that cake for them, boom, and to put it out there. We know that she can actually make that cake, but that was silly. Because she nailed it.
She nailed it.
She nailed it.
Completely down to the can.
All right, now let's move on. Let's talk with Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, you know, he's recovered, so thank God for that. Happy about that, you know, from his previous aneurysm that he had. He's supposed to be getting a divorce. Prior to the aneurysm, he was getting a divorce. Well, his wife wants to know, is he taking care of his side chicks? Are they considered side chicks when you get a divorce?
No, not anymore.
I mean, the chicks may be side by side, but that's a whole nother story. You know?
And I mean, listen, with that kind of money, who gives a Mary? Take the side chick. The side chick is a side chick because she wants to be a side chick. She knows she's the side chick. So you classify her as the side chick.
I think I would be surprised if he ever got married again.
I would.
I don't. Yeah.
I would too. They had that movie with Happy Valentine's Day to you too. That's for the viewers that's listening. So happy Valentine's Day to the lovely people and the people that are joining in right now. Here's the deal. He has all that money. If you're a side chick, see, the side chick get to be the side chick and she get to do whatever she want to do. And if the guy is paying her, we talking Dr. Dre money. Oh, you better believe the side chick is getting paid. So I don't know why the wife is worried about if he's taking care of his side chicks. Absolutely. That's why they the side chick.
Well, I think her concern is that if he's taking care of him, how long has he been taking care of him? I think that, I mean, it could be some bitterness, but I think like that if it were me and I was worried about it, I would be like, well, how long have you been taking from the, I mean, he got millions upon millions of dollars, but how long have you been, you know, taken away from the family to give to these women?
Okay, what's your thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, they get a divorce, so it's like, why do you even care? Why
All
do
those
you care?
millions, all of those millions.
I mean, if you getting some money from it, why do you care? Get your money and get on. Find you somebody else. Find you another rich person.
Or should he wait until he actually gets the divorce and then start stepping out? Because they spotted him at a restaurant with April. Who's April? April was the girl who had the babies by Marion, B2K, and then she was dealing with little kids. Listen, y'all already know how. Didn't I tell? See, I need to call her. The starter kit to celebrities is Future. They start off, they sleep with Future, then they just go up. You with B2K, the little Fizz, the little cat, and then you go to Dr. Dre. Listen, allegedly, let me say that. She done skipped up, but she supposed to start with Future, not the little babies. Now here's the deal. Here's what's interesting. Guys can date everybody in the industry, but she is like labeled. Women are labeled, just like, what's that little girl name? Harvey's little girl.
Is she in it? But hold on, is she in the industry? She's not in the industry though.
She got babies.
She just got babies by somebody.
She's not in the industry. She just by proxy.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, like that's different. I mean, she's industry associated, but she's not. You know, she's not trying to make a life for herself.
She actually was doing some stuff.
Oh, but she was on Love and Hip Hop, but she got into that because of
And then she was doing some stuff in the studio as well. So,
but she got her job after she got in.
Yeah.
What job?
She got on Love and Hip Hop after she got in because she was with Amarion. So she does reality TV.
Oh.
And I think
we know how you feel about reality TV.
I think she sings.
Cool.
She don't. I don't know. And look, I'm like, I don't know. All right, let's move to the next one because we gotta do this stuff real quick. The importance of the DJ. How important is a DJ?
Very important. You got to have a DJ.
Is the DJ important?
Yeah, I mean,
so if your party is elaborate, your DJ is whack. Your party's whack.
Yeah,
it can very much happen.
Yeah.
Now, and the reason I'm asking that because you already know the Spinderella. She's still trying to fish. I don't even know how to fish. Still trying to get.
You got a fisherman's hat.
I do.
You got a designer fisherman's hat.
Yes, I do. I'm dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, all you need is a boat and a pole. Right.
That's all I need. Got to be quicker than that. I got you.
Yeah.
But that's my, like, Spinderella, do you think that she needs the same amount of money as Salt and Pepper? She wanted to be split 3 ways.
I mean,
is she producing the music?
No, because remember Herbie Lovebug was actually doing it. But we know that the DJ plays the hottest music. We know that that's their job. You got to play what's hot. And honestly, they paid to play. Shout out to you, Dirty D, and Stan the Man and Chip, all y'all lovely people that I actually know. Yeah. You got to be able to play the right music and know when to play. Now, I've been to a party where I was really upset because I wanted to knock the DJ off the turntables and DJ myself. I was like, that's not what you do. You got to know, you got to feel your audience. You have to know what they want. You got to read the audience. And to me, it's like, I'm not a comedian, but a comedian. You got to feel, do you leave, sink or swim? Like the people are laughing. Okay, well, that joke didn't go over well. If I was a comedian, I would be like, well, that joke didn't go over well. You know what I mean? Right. I would actually say it. But as far as like for a DJ, if nobody's getting on the dance floor, you know what to do. Throw some line dance music on. But some people don't, or they playing their favorite music. I remember we had a party and we wanted what we wanted, but the DJ was playing all his favorite music. Excuse me, we're paying you. So the DJ is important. I'm not saying that it's not. But I don't think, I deserves 3 equal parts, equal shares. Go ahead. Yeah.
But I think when you talk about DJ in a rap group versus DJ at a bar mitzvah, I think that's different. You know what I mean? Because like if you look at DJ, if you say DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince,
but he's not just.
If you look at Gangstar,
but he's not just the Fresh Prince's DJ. He's a DJ and he's rocking with him. So you should be able to DJ everything. And I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna hear your point. I'm gonna say this. Finn, if you listening, this is what you need to do. I listen to you and it's cool. I like old music. I like throwback music. I'm down with the hip hop, the retro hip hop. However, if you want to be relevant, girl, you got to come up to date and play some current stuff and then be like, okay, that's Spin from Salt and Pepper. Don't play the same music back then. You know, come on, step your game up. Okay, go ahead, Roogle.
Well, she could be a specialized DJ. You know, like for example, the mainstream, they always have specialized DJs that on the radio. I mean, like you got, I mean, I'm going back, Rick D's, right?
Back retro.
You know, like if you got Rick D's, he was like exclusive top 40, you know what I mean? If you get like somebody, you know, like there's certain genres of music that you get people to just specialize in that. So if you want to have that 70s party, you calling that 70s DJ.
Exactly.
Still Bill.
The theme of it. It's a theme. So when you have a theme party, your DJ plays the music towards your theme. But if it's no theme and you know you got a mixed crowd, you need to mix it on up.
Well, look, when all this is all safe and done, probably in about 5 years, we'll be able to truly walk the earth. I'm gonna have a party, and I want to have a party where I got to make sure that I interview my DJ to know the expansive list of knowledge of music. Because everybody who got records ain't a DJ. You got to have knowledge of music, right? You just got to have it. And I'm going to have all kinds of stuff played. Ghostbusters.
You always talking about play Ghostbusters at a wedding. Always the cat to go and request Ghostbusters at a wedding. Let's go to the viewers real quick. Yes, Deron, she should, because she's part of the act. I don't think she should get equal parts though, but okay. There's no judgment zone, you already know. Yes, DJs control the tempo of the party. I need my DJ to be hyped when I'm coming out. When I hear da-da-da-da, I'm on the side of the stage like, yeah, this is it. Let me step out, let me strut. Don't come with no Teddy Pendergrass and think I'm supposed to be hyped.
We had a party like that too, and I'm wondering if we had the same DJ. You remember that party? And then we kept asking him to play stuff, and he was getting an attitude with us. How you getting an attitude and we paying you, bruh?
Like the piano player on on 5 Heartbeats.
Right. That's like, listen, that's how I felt. That is how I felt at that one day. I'm like, I want to go up there, boom. Let me, and see, now DJs aren't really DJing like DJ Mel out of New York. Right. You know what I mean? Like, where's the vinyls? Listen, I seen a DJ that had a poster. He was pitching the baby's cheek and his hands was ashy, bless his heart. But I didn't know it was a joke at first, and I'm looking and his fingernails was dirty. I look at nails because that's really important to me. Like if your nails is dirty, bye. How you a DJ and your nails that dirty? Like you a DJ.
Right.
Like where your vinyl deep down in the cellar?
Because he's been scratching on that vinyl, man. Been getting the vinyl, like, you know.
Well, guess what? My DJ that I have for my party coming up was DJ for the one radio station in Pittsburgh forever. He was DJing.
Who, DJ Cam?
Okay. Nick Nice.
Oh, okay. Well, see what I'm saying? Okay, so you got Nick Nice, throwback. I'm hoping he ain't doing what Spinderella doing and playing.
Oh no, Nick Nice is still the man. He plays it all.
So do you have do you prepare a playlist? Did he ask you like, what do you know, what's your favorite song?
Ask me what's my favorite song, what I want to play, but he mixes that. Then he has something called the 20-minute workout where he plays all kinds of music from different eras. And when I say he just continuously for 20 minutes. And when I say you sweating, when you done, you sweating, but it
that's
gets
what we
the people
used to
out
do.
there. Exactly, and that's why he calls it 20-minute workout, to try to get people on the dance floor.
Now, all you got to do is go. Now we can take it all the way back and spin some vinyls. Like, listen, I listened to Atomic Dog from one side of town to the other, and it wasn't even over. See, you had enough time back in the day to actually go ask somebody to dance, ask your boy to go ask her to dance, get on the dance floor, dance, and then go ahead and get the number. Yep. Now it's like you at one red light, you go to the next one, song over.
Exactly.
I'm like, you better text. Can I have the next dance is mine on the next song? Don't even know what the song is. Like the music is shorter, so he really working. So kudos to him with the 20-minute workout. Okay, he definitely working. Cardi B made the news again for stealing music. Okay.
Don't they all steal music?
No, listen, this is per was it Mermakin in Montana? She stole the hook. We want they said they want their money. They had the same beat, same words. You know that song, what is it? Let me see. Hold on. Let me look. I'm looking on here too, guys. Sorry. What did it say? If it's up, then it's stuck. With her and Megan Thee Stallion. I want to say it was August. I want to say it was August the 6th. Yeah, because August the 6th is like significant. That's when she did it on live. That's when they released it. But they actually did it, and she was saying, no, that's not it. But some people feel like she will come out and tell you where she got it from. She's honest, so she probably don't know. But do you think that she needs to like
break off some bread?
Yeah, break some bread. Like the people working on it.
Because her hooks, listen, and the hook is an actual house, a song, like a house music. Is an actual song. There's them hoes in this house. But well,
we know that's old.
Right. She sold it down. So yeah, anybody you took beats from, you owe them money. Period.
Yeah, she used that track. That was my jam.
Their track, then you owe them the money.
Listen, when that first came out, there's some hoes in his house. I couldn't bring myself to dance to it, but I'd be in the chair like,
oh no, I was dancing to it.
I couldn't dance to it, but my cousin, that was her song. She went there. I was like, I ain't no hoe. I ain't about to dance to that. Sorry. And I do pay attention to the words.
Right.
And then when she came out with it, I was like, okay, well, she got, they stripping and got what they got. Okay, let the truth speak.
Right.
Let's do what we do.
I mean, this goes back to the whole for real and blurred lines. If you're using the music, you gotta pay. Recently I was watching an article on Vlad TV where he interviewed CC what's her piece? Peniston, there you go. And she was saying like, what's her name? What's her name, y'all? I'm 100% that. What's her name?
Lisa Ray. I'm not Lisa Ray. What's her name? The one that had the phone at the NBA game.
Yeah.
Lizzo.
There you go.
Lizzo. Okay. Lizzo used her hook. Hey. You know what I'm saying? How that her hook. And so they had I guess there was a conversation about it and some compensation about it. You know what I mean? So
compensation.
Just like if I was JoJo, I'd be trying to get my money from Drew Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Listen, now you brought up Drew Hill. I want to know how many listeners out there did the step.
Oh yeah, tell me.
You're like, boom. You're like, every time I hear Drew Hill, that's what I do. Like, and yeah, they do need their money. Everybody needs their money. So I'm hoping that she'd be like, okay, here we go. Because she went live. So they marked that as the time. And a lot of people don't know. That's why when you go live or like make a message or anything like that, that marks your date. And that'll help you with your copyright. Like some people are like, okay, well, it wasn't copywritten, but guess what? Here's live footage. So this is it. You know what I mean? And she went live. Her and Megan Thee Stallion went live August the 6th. They released it August the 6th, but it was already done. So I think she owed them money and let her go ahead and get their money. Now let's talk about, I know you hate reality TV, but real quick, let's get it done. The Kardashians are done after this season. Look, they are done. But Kanye allegedly said that Kylie is a mess. And she lied to Forbes and it came all out. Remember, she's supposed to be the $1 billion. Remember we talked about that?
Mm-hmm.
$1 billion. That's a lie. The lie according to the people. Okay. She lied to Forbes about her $1 billion. She's made 900 million. I think 900 million.
I mean,
billion. Hey, Forbes is serious about the money.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know they serious, but we talking about you know, I mean,
900 million, a billion. That's right there, because it's 900 million is much closer than much closer to a billion than it is a million. So a billion. Yeah, I mean, just
Hey, listen,
round
according
it
to
up.
Forbes, we ain't gonna be rounding up.
Why not the IRS do?
You ain't lying.
The
you know,
IRS
I
do
get.
be rounded
I
up.
mean, I get it. I get what they saying. $100 million is we just looking at, you know, it probably is a far cry, right? But the thing is that if people are buying this stuff and they seem like they're going to continue to buy whatever she's selling, that she will soon have another $100 million if she don't mess up the first 900 million.
But according to the IRS, they want you to round it up. If it's over 5 and round it down. So I'm quite sure she over 900.
But what are they?
Billion,
when you talk about rounding, though, are you talking about rounding to the nearest 100, the nearest 1,000? I mean, they talk about the nearest 10 million, 10,000. I mean, $1 million. I mean,
yeah, I'm like 100 million. You know, 900 million. Like, get out of here. Let's go to the viewers. Okay, Aurelia said to Kardashian Jay, I'm glad that they're done. So she's done. And yes, Deron says that it's called sampling. If that's the case, we owe James Brown's children a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Pay them.
Pay them. Pay the people.
Pay them. Exactly.
Listen.
Especially if he check this out. If you sample my music and I own the masters, pay me.
Pay you your money.
Basically.
Okay.
Pay me.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of owning your masters. So you can get paid.
So you can
Instead of
so they need to be paying James Brown. That's it. They need to be paying him for his steps. How many people to copy? Too bad he didn't do that, because you had Michael Jackson copy his steps, Usher, Chris Brown, everybody, and even the Weeknd with his whack performance for the Super Bowl. We didn't get to talk about that. Listen, I was like, well,
I was like hitting, missing the whole Super Bowl, especially that.
That halftime was a mess, and it was definitely a nightmare for the epileptic patient. All them lights and stuff. I was like, oh man, how many people having seizures right now watching the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
It just made you see. I mean, there could be some limitations on what you can do for a halftime show because of what's going on. But I fell asleep. I fell asleep at the Super Bowl when I woke up in the third quarter. And then the next day I went and watched this show online or whatever. And it just made me see that, like, he should not have been alone. Like, they should like,
somebody else.
Yeah, they should like, it's featuring him, and let's bring back a fan favorite. Let's bring back Bruno Mars too, just because.
Yeah, he ain't Bruno Mars and he ain't Prince. He couldn't do it.
I don't know who he is, but
he's the Weeknd. He blew my weekend. That's for sure.
Blew your weekend.
Blew my weekend. I was like, what is going on here? I think it was so basic. It was so basic, like 1981 basic.
Well, I think there's limitations on what you can do, but then there's also like,
why after Beyonce did her Black Power thing, that Black Panther thing, you think that's why?
What's that?
That's why you said there's limitations on?
No, I think there's limitations just because like if you notice when he had all the people in bandages, they all had masks on.
I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think there's limitations to what you can do. And when they had the whole, well, you know what? Let me scrap that whole thought. Well, no, I'll keep that thought, just because you can't have, like, okay, for example, when you have Beyonce, when you had like anybody else, those people are bringing the stages out and all that stuff, right? So they're like, okay, if we're going to reduce the chance of transmission of this disease, we can't have a whole bunch of roadies and everybody out there making the stage and doing all this stuff, you know, and then breaking it down, putting it back up, right? So I think they did it in the safest way that they possibly could. I just think that they just picked a whack ass artist to do it. They, you know, and I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that, because some stuff for the Weeknd I like, other stuff, like he never even did the Black Panther song, did he?
I think probably did. No, he didn't. Probably I didn't hear. He probably didn't want to. I guess this is my thoughts. Let me get them together. Whew, breathe, let the mind go, and then I'll speak. I'm thinking they chose him because, you know, Jay-Z's on that committee. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking they chose him just to keep it, you know, something basic to kind of neutral.
Bring in a Canadian and not an American.
Yeah.
Okay, so
just to keep it, you know, keep it kind of complacent.
So then bring in him and Drake. or something. Did Drake ever do a Super Bowl?
The grassy guy. What was his name?
So.
No, I didn't hear. I don't know if Drake could have. I don't think.
I'm just saying, if you ain't gonna go
pulled off the Super Bowl, Drake by himself, but yes, they could have had both of them together.
Yeah. You need
Okay, so a viewer said that the Weeknd was the worst Super Bowl performance he had ever seen, which he is in agreement with us. Now, speaking, you said bring in Bruno Mars. You need the energy. So the game wasn't good. My team wasn't in it.
What you mean the game wasn't good?
The game wasn't good. I was like,
the Chiefs pulled the Steelers, and I was highly upset because I was rooting for the Chiefs, but they did what our team did. You did great all this time, and then all of a sudden you get there and boom,
folded. Straight
folded.
I mean, they got there, you know. I mean, y'all got knocked out by the Browns. The Browns knocked y'all out, and you know the biggest mistake.
You didn't show up for the after game.
The biggest mistake y'all made as an organization was that y'all tried to sleep the Browns. Y'all should have came on hard on week 17 of the regular season and tried to play the Browns instead of trying to sleep the Browns.
But guess what? When you had the opportunity to talk about this, you was MIA. So we ain't gonna talk about this.
I'm just saying, if Cat's gonna be talking, what's the rules? What's the rules?
We're gonna go back to what's current. And
if she can talk about the Steelers, I'm talking about the Browns.
All right, let's talk about the Bruno Mars. When you said Bruno Mars should have came back, so that's the energy. Now here's the deal with the energy. Speaking of Bruno Mars, did you see that some lady gave him like thousands of dollars on the Instagram? Some lady, she got on the Instagram. Old people don't be on the Instagram. Like, you're not ready unless you have a child.
You ain't ready.
Who to put this woman on the Instagram? I think she gave him like $90,000. Don't quote me on that price, but she gave him like a whole bunch of money. Something he needed money to go on his tour. It was a fake Bruno Mars. Now Bruno Mars don't need no money to go on his tour.
Yeah, I remember.
Exactly.
And she gave him the money, so that guy, the knockoff, is going to jail. He's going to.
But did y'all see the guy? Did you see?
Yeah, I see the picture. I'm gonna post the picture on the website, shoptalkwithmel.com, so y'all can see the guy like he did. But here's a picture. How easy is it to steal a picture? Listen, people be stealing pictures all the time, and I hope y'all ain't got. They probably got your picture, Nick. Some dude got your picture on the wall, beat to it.
Probably. Listen. Probably, and guess what?
You just hope they don't be like, I don't even want to rule. They probably got your picture. Some chick got your picture on the wall for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, because folks are stealing pictures, so
But Justin Timberlake, so Brittany come out with her book. I can't remember the name of it, but I want to let you know this. Justin Timberlake decides after Brittany comes out with her book to apologize. Now, you remember the song Cry Me a River?
Cry Me a River.
You know that was for her.
Yeah.
Now
I got that in my playlist.
I like it. It's a great song. He made money off of it. But he apologized to Brittany. He wants to. Yeah, he did a public apology. It was like 2 days ago.
Cry Me a River, and there was another one that was about her.
And he apologized to her, and he wants to apologize to Janet Jackson for what happened at the Super Bowl, since we talked about the Super Bowl. Is it too late? Like, why now?
When he could have took the chance? When he could have took the chance to apologize to Janet Jackson? When he did the Super Bowl, he should have had her perform with him again. That would have showed his star power and remorse for what his role was in it, and it would have brought her more. It would have decreased the issue that it was with her. You know what I mean?
But she's not allowed to perform there no more.
Yeah, I mean, but he ain't. But it didn't stop him. But they gave him a chance to perform there again, and he was the one. He was the one that pulled it off. You know, I mean, it wasn't like the boob was not bare until he grabbed it. He grabbed the boob to make it bare. But I mean, but nothing happened to him. Oh, he gets another Super Bowl, you know, and at that time, and that's why I say it's hard. It's not hard for me to say this, but I've been watching football more lately than ever, just really primarily because my son likes it, and he's been watching it and stuff like that. But I've been having a hard time dealing with I'm gonna try to be PC on this, but it's hard dealing with how the NFL is so racist. It's so racist, man. Like, it's just so racist. They give him a chance to go back and do a Super Bowl where he was just as much involved in that issue as she was, if it was planned that way. You know, then they got this whole coaching thing where they have a firm that says, we'll tell you who the best coaches is that you should hire, like for head coaches and stuff like that. And these teams, these owners will not hire these black coaches. You know, I mean, like it's this, and even when a firm that they hire tell them that this is the better person, they still go and hire somebody else that is. I wanted to say it like this: it can't be because of talent, because the firm is telling you we analyze them, they're the best. It must be race. I'm just sick of it, you know. I mean, just like how Colin Kaepernick should definitely be. I ain't gonna say he should be starting, but he should be on the team somewhere.
And you know what? And it makes you wonder, like, why? So now you're seeing look, the world is seeing what he was standing for, and now you're accepting it, but nobody hired him back. What's that about?
Right.
Oh, I mean, you know, some people think that, you know, he should have, you know, been more malleable to the process and all that kind of stuff or whatever, you know. But the thing is that, you know, even when you got Deshaun Watson who plays for the Texans, he's like, hey, I want out, and they will not release him. And I guess he's just potentially he may have to sit out. But the way his contract and everything is done, they can have him locked up until he's like 30, 31 years old. And he could never play it down for them, and they can have him locked up in the contract just to say, we don't want to let you go. Like how Barry Sanders was. I ain't gonna say I don't know I don't think Barry Sanders' issue was related with race, but it could have been, you know, it could have been like, because he wanted to get out of Detroit and they weren't gonna let him leave. So they ended up keeping him, and then he ended up retiring. He retired way before he should have. But as a fan, my thoughts were he retired early.
What's your thoughts, Nick? She gonna go on long talk about this here racism. Like what? I see her mind just going. All right, let's go with Steve Harvey. Well, actually, it's this pastor. His name is Geno Jennings. Y'all can look him up if y'all want to. I don't promote negativity, but this guy is hilarious. So know what you're doing when you go and check him out. I don't want you guys to go and just really believe everything that everyone is telling you. You got to look it up for yourself. Anyway, he says that Steve Harvey behind the pulpit, he said that Steve Harvey is starting a new religion. Talking about because Steve Harvey said Chrislam, because he went over to Islam and he said he's a Christian, and he had he's a Muslim and a Christian, so it's Chrislam. And he talking about Steve Harvey is gonna go to hell. He took him serious. Steve Harvey is a comedian. How is he gonna start a new? I mean, I guess you could start a new religion, but Chrislam, stop it. And then he's preaching this to his congregation, and he's saying that Steve Harvey is arrogant and all that other stuff. And to me, he is pretty much telling his congregation to dislike Steve Harvey. He's a comedian. What the heck?
That's what comedians do. Know your role, man. Worry about the word from God. Stop worrying about everything
Preach
else.
from the Bible and not
exactly, because
Steve
that's
Harvey.
not going to help you get into heaven either.
So how do you feel about people standing behind the pulpit
judging?
Hey, that's the main judges right there. You know what I mean? Standing behind the pulpit, talking about and you do incorporate some worldly things. I want to make sure that I say this right, but not preaching from the Bible behind the pulpit. How do you feel about that? Like his whole, the sermon that I saw, the clip that I saw, and you guys can check that out on YouTube. He probably won extra followers, though. But you can see where he's just focused on Steve Harvey and how arrogant he is. Sir, I came here for a word from God, not to hear about Steve Harvey and him and his new religion. Are you incorporating it? Are you turning the church into Chrislam? Like, what was the relevance? I don't know. Help me understand.
Why is he so worried about Steve Harvey? What you need to be worried about is getting souls into heaven, including yours.
Yes. What's your thoughts, Roogle?
My first thoughts are that if you look at the roots of Christianity, the Muslim faith,
they are Christians,
and Judaism, got the same people. All of them got Abraham in there, right? It's just like the differences change a little bit as you like kind of spread out through the genealogy.
Yes, so you see Bible. The ignorance. You see the old term nice, like
I mean, so we all really brothers and sisters. It's almost Like those are considered religions, but it's almost like they're creeds of one thought. A creed would be a Christian versus a Baptist, right? They're all Christians, but I mean they are Christians, but they have their own little whatever. So it is kind of, to me, it's just like, are there some things that all those religions do that are good and that are sound and that align with what one of those faiths would align with? Yes. Are there some things that do not align with those religions? For example, Christians, we don't got a stipulation on our diet. Muslims and the Jewish population, they do, right? Like they don't eat pork, but we'll eat a rib every day if cooked right, right? So I mean,
totally
so there's probably more similarities than differences, I would think, from a foundational, if you look at the foundation of what spawned all three of those.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And really, I mean, if you go back to Abraham, I mean, at that time it was just the Jews, and then it was Abraham ended up having the child with the midwife, and then Ishmael, and then that started Islam. You know what I mean? So I mean, the Muslim faith or what have you. But yeah, we all brothers and sisters. We just gotta learn to get along. That's all. In my opinion, I talked too long about that.
No, but that's okay. But how do you feel about people deciding, or pastors behind the pulpit focused on that? Like, what's wrong? Is that many are called, few are chosen?
I mean, see, even that's a slim thing, because granted, like this, I think being a pastor would be a tremendously difficult job.
Oh yeah.
But I just also think, though, I see some people that just randomly be like, oh, I need a title, let me become minister or somebody, so I don't know. I mean, I think the discernment is in the heart of the person in that congregation to make that decision if that's the best place for them to be or not.
Well, you know what? I'm not judging. I don't know where you're gonna go, but Nick, I think you got something with that, because it shouldn't matter what doctrine you are. But why are you focused on Steve? Don't teach me about what somebody else is doing. Teach me the word of God. I'm not gonna get up Sunday morning to coming up in there to hear you down talk somebody else. I'm here for uplifting. Call me. I'm a Joel Osteen fan too. I need some encouragement. Help me get through my week.
Hey, and Joel Osteen is controversial to some people. He's controversial.
Listen,
some people think he don't talk enough about the Bible.
Listen, he make me feel good. You do have to learn it for yourself or read it for yourself.
All right, Monsters Ball. make me feel good. As Holly Berry said.
Hey, look, says the movie guy.
Yeah, I gotta bring that movie reference, for sure.
But if I went to listen, that's something right there would make me not go back to your church.
Right, I'm gonna get up and leave.
You're absolutely right.
I would leave. I would get up and I would actually leave. I would be like, okay, this is not for me.
Okay, how's that helping me get into heaven?
And then then what about the people that be saying amen? Are you listening to what's happening here? No amen, no amen.
Right, they just
well, I think the thing is like sometimes you could take a person that can be, you can pick away at any good person's flaw, and I'm not trying to say Steve Harvey is a good person. I don't know the guy.
Right.
But I will say that I don't know what his hang up was with him. I didn't see the video or anything like that, but maybe there was some truth. Maybe there was some point that he wanted to make about, like, people say the only way you can get into heaven is that you accept God as your personal savior. Jesus Christ, not Jesus Christ is your personal savior, right? So technically,
why we talking about Steve?
Yeah, but our brothers and sisters who have the same roots in religion wouldn't declare Jesus Christ their personal savior. They look at him as a prophet, right? Not the Messiah. So I mean, like, I don't know what he was trying. I don't know what his point was, but I mean, maybe his thing was like there could be corruption there can be corruption in religion that stops you from achieving what your religion actually is. Maybe it was something weird like that he was trying to do. I ain't
Well,
gonna say
actually,
weird like that, but
what I received from it was he was pretty much speaking on the arrogance of the rich.
oh,
That's what the
gotcha.
arrogance of the rich. But it's what you believe in. Why are you paying that much attention? Like, I'm trying to get rich. I'm
Yeah.
busy myself. And let's go to the viewer real quick. So many different religions. Yes, there is religions and doctrines. We need to open the Bible and just get a personal relationship with the Creator. Absolutely right. Thanks, Chrissy. And that's one of the viewers. You have to learn it for yourself.
And I want to also, while we speaking of religion, address everybody, like everybody that's in different religions. Certain religions are always claiming that they are the one true prophet that can help people get. Listen, I just had a little Bible study with my cousin last Sunday. And I forgot what religion she went to, but Christianity, these preachers are leading all the people to hell because we don't celebrate, because y'all Christians don't celebrate or don't take the Sabbath. Y'all work on the Sabbath and y'all worship on Sunday, and Sunday is for the sun god Ra, and that's the devil. And I'm sitting there listening to her like, baby, come on now. So her own kids was like, Mom, go ahead. We ain't trying to hear that. So she was like, I know my cousin know that she want to know the truth. She'll I ain't converting to nothing. I was born, baptized, and raised Pentecostal. Listen, Church of God in Christ.
Oh, Pentecostal, let me pull this skirt down. Go ahead.
Listen, it's all about like you said, your personal relationship with God. Because as long as you are in tune with God and you ask for forgiveness from God, it don't matter what religion you are. If you ask for forgiveness and you are true in your heart and you ready to change your life over or whatever, but as long as you asking God for forgiveness, guess what? That's how you gonna get to heaven. It ain't what religion you are, as long as you ain't worshiping the devil.
Okay.
That ain't your religion. But as long as you have a personal relationship with God and you are true and faithful to God, and you get on your knees and you repent and you ask for forgiveness, that's how you go into heaven. It ain't got nothing to do with none of these religions. It's your personal relationship with God. Period. Point blank.
Put something in their plate, y'all. I got one thing to say, and the thing is this: there has not been a census performed in heaven or hell, so we do not know what gets you there and what disqualifies you. We get an idea. You know what I mean? We got an idea. Genocide. You're probably going to hell. You know what I mean? Giving kids candy on Halloween, you might be in heaven. I don't know. We don't know. So until there's a census ran in heaven and hell to tell you who's in there and why, then like I think we kind of need to relax a little bit on that, and this really just be the best people we can be. And apologize when you feel like you made a mistake. The other day I made a mistake and I was like, man, let me go and apologize. And I did.
Very good. And how did you feel after you apologized?
I feel so much better because it would have been on my heart for weeks, for months, maybe years. I'd have thought about that situation. So it was just like, like I had the opportunity to make it better. And that's the thing, like us as the human race, just take the opportunity to make whatever's in your circle better.
That's it.
That's
it. Good word. Hey. There's your Sunday word. Roogle them laid it out.
There it is. There it
is.
It
has not been a census in heaven or hell.
It has not been. You know what I'm saying? So what you gonna do? I'm saying, look, I'm gonna make sure on February 14, 2021, I said that. So if y'all hear a preacher say that, you be like, you stole the gospel of Roogle.
Stole the gospel of Roogle. Look, go ahead, Pastor.
Yeah.
Always ready. All right, Ethel Love. Who's Ethel Love? You know Ethel Love? Nope, I ain't know Ethel Love either until somebody had the nerve to they doing all these documentaries and stuff on Lifetime. Ethel Love is the original. Well, actually, she is the only Brenda. She played Brenda and Brenda's Got a Baby in Tupac's song.
Okay. That's her name.
And y'all want to know why I told y'all that, right?
Yes.
I wanted to know why she's being interviewed. All right, so we all in the same boat. I was like, okay, all right. Congratulations, Ethel Love. It was a video.
Basically.
And somebody interviewed her and they wanted to know, well, how did you get the part? And how did it was a video. But what she ended up saying, I'll put this out there, give her a little clout. She was a good friend. She was the bigger sister of a good friend of Tupac's, and he said, okay, I want you to play the role. That's it. But here's the deal. This is the benefit to it, because you always got to find some good. When there is not much going on, that you got to go in the archives to find somebody to interview and talk to. So that's what I looked at. I said, well, that's a good thing that there's really, nothing going on, that you can go find her. Hey, let's see, who's that one that played that?
Well, think about it like this though. I mean,
it was a very impactful video though.
Yeah. I mean, she probably,
He said,
I'm not gonna even say what I was gonna say, so I'm just gonna move on. No.
It's okay to be you, Roogle.
I mean,
the slogan.
It's okay to be you.
I know it's okay to be you, but y'all quick to ridicule. So
I won't ridicule you. This is no judge me zone.
All I'm saying is it's like, I mean, think about her role in videos. It's probably been the most significant video role. I can't think of another, because you think about how they portray women in videos.
Oh, yeah.
Booty shaking, all that other stuff, right? Even WAP and all that other stuff, right? So I mean, like, I'm trying to think back at a video that I mean, granted, her story was not good.
Character.
Yeah. Her story wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she had some problems going on, but I mean, like, as a vehicle to teach, yeah, she probably needs to get a little bit of recognition for that. And right now, we can all use a little bit of good Tupac. Right?
Yeah, we sure can. He brought it. You're right. And the reality ratings are going down. Like I said before, we got our own reality going on.
Because everybody at home. Like I don't give and I think Ellen was the catalyst for that, because she was in her mansion talking about, I feel like I'm in prison. And she on a beachfront mansion. Okay.
Right. You were feeling some type of way, but
I still feel a kind of way about that. Still, like,
what's going on? People locked up, talking about, hey, what y'all doing out there? The same thing you doing in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
exactly.
Chilling, like chilling. Method Man's wife, let's go ahead and get that out the way. Why is Method Man's wife coming for Wendy because of the one night stand or several stands, maybe 2 night stands, that she had with him? And she brought up in a documentary, like, that was before her.
Life, and that was before you.
Like, why?
Sis, calm down.
Because there's money in the controversy. There's money in the controversy.
Well, I'm not really trying to listen to what she got to tell me something quick coming from. She ain't coming for him. I was about to say something. Like, if it wasn't Sunday, no, but I'm gonna be me. Listen, she already came. She ain't coming for him.
And probably several times.
Okay. So, girl, bye. Tell me, he has a family now. Well, his past is his past, and people need to know the decisions you make today will affect you tomorrow.
His past is part of her past. She was talking about her past, and she's having to bring him along.
And why she got to be quiet about it? Why
she don't have to?
What's up with the hush? Why she got to be quiet about it?
Wasn't she only talking about that relationship because he has a book or something coming out?
No, she had her biopic.
It was her biopic. And then she talked about, okay, all right.
What a life. We're going to go to the viewer real quick. Okay. Wendy told her business. Yes, she told her business. And yes, Chrissy, she said Method Man mad because he didn't want nobody to know. That's it. Probably keep it quiet. Because remember they were saying he don't want nobody to know. Let's keep this quiet. No, you was here.
But my thing is, when you look back at pictures from back in the day,
he was toe up from the
He was toe up, and Wendy was just the opposite. Wendy was very nice looking when she was younger, before she got all that surgery and everything else. And he was toe up. So if I was her, I probably would have hit that one like, oh, he was looking kind of hit back in the day.
Right, and then all you got to do, yeah, now all they got to do is just ask him. All they got to be like, Meth, is she a man? Because the jury was out like, she a man.
She a man. Kept calling her a man.
Ask Meth. And then he
Obviously,
let
she
you
ain't.
know. Right. Kevin Hart, you know he got robbed, right?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Let me tell you, in case you didn't know. He got robbed by his personal assistant.
Who?
His personal shopper. Now, this is how he got robbed. You know, the personal shopper is supposed to go out and be like, okay, they look good in this and they look, you know, that type of stuff. Anyway, he was millions. Not all at one time. He'd be like, one for you, one for me. One for you, one for me. Yeah, so that's what he was doing. And he always had the credit card. So it's like, okay, I have this event going on. I need you to give me blah, 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 make sure I'm looking fly. Okay, I got you. Sweater for you, sweater for me. How many people would not have actually done that?
If you want to know the truth, dig in financial records of a lot of these stars, I guarantee a lot of them, their personal assistants, their CPAs, or whoever else, is double dipping, getting some good money off of them. So yeah.
He got it, you know, a few here, I got this, boom, charge. Over the years, like, he just found out, so I guess he's supposed to be collecting charges.
I just wanted to say this. Well, you know, then all those commercials you see with superstars in stores and stuff is some damn bull, because if he, like, take your own ass to the store. You don't need to hire somebody. Go on Amazon and buy your stuff. You know, and then the thing is, why you letting that person have that much access to so much money?
What's on the credit card? Now, let me say this.
I mean, think about it. If I need a personal shopper, if I let's say I got $100 million, and for some reason I feel like I need a personal shopper, well, wouldn't I budget that out to only be like, I think I only want to let you have control of like $50,000 to $100,000 of my money.
Or you say, here's a
at a time.
Well, listen, I hear you. So it had to be some trust.
It had to be dumb, some dumbness.
But here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. Like, when you're bookings, when you're working, when you're doing certain stuff and you have to go somewhere, I'll ask somebody, can you please go get it for me? You know what I mean? And I had a personal shopper. Listen, Macy's was it. And my homegirl used to hook me up. She'd be like, hey, I seen this. I know that you'll like it. She will pull the stuff. Boom. I'll come and pick it up. I didn't have anybody else come pick it up. However, the personal shopper is convenient when you're constantly busy and you need this and you like this and you be like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to get out. But now everybody is, you got your Amazon now, you're at home. You're like, okay, well, I can shop. Actually, I think I spent more money being at home than I did when I was, when the world was open.
Definitely did.
Spend way more money. But a personal shopper, I can see how that can happen. And then you're you trusting the person, you're thinking all is well, all is well. I'm gonna start checking now. I don't want to say I don't check my credit cards, but like until I have time, I'll sit down and be like, wait a minute, I should have another check somewhere. Wait a second. Because I remember one time, even when I was younger, I used to be working and I would just set it down. My checks used to just stack up. And then when I get low, I was like, wait, I shouldn't have got paid. Yeah, you got 4 checks in there. You know what I mean? So when you're constantly on the go, you don't know. So I can see how that could happen if you really trust somebody. And I'd be like, here, personal shopper. And see, I'm the type of person that'd be like, oh yeah, go ahead, get one. But he got millions over time.
I just think that like this is ridiculous. I mean, was it millions of dollars you said it was?
Yeah, it was over time. It was millions.
Yeah, but you just figure like what are you not paying attention to? Like I wouldn't let somebody have that much control over to be able to have access unless it was like if it was the overall accountant, right? The guy who's like, I'm diversifying your funds and all that kind of stuff. That's different. But a person that's going to shop for you.
See, I wouldn't, and I feel you, but see, the accountant, I'm gonna have to sign all my own checks. See, I will pay attention to that. That's like a credit card, be like, I don't know. But I don't have. I just hope. I
just hope to be in that situation I hope to be in a situation one day where I can be that dumb.
Listen, in this day and age of shopping online, you can afford to go to them websites, to them stores that you used to shopping in, where a pair of jeans cost you $20,000. Do it yourself.
Yeah,
Go
now
online
you
and
can
do it
actually,
yourself.
now that we all got
And
to
it
sit
could be
still.
delivered to your house. You ain't got to leave your house to go pick it up. It can be delivered to your house. Do it yourself, and you ain't got to worry about nobody stealing millions from you over time because you done shocked yourself.
And then, you know, you have like the automatic payments that come out to be easier, but they will double dip. They will double dip. I had
if you do auto pay,
yeah, the auto pay. So you be like, okay, well, I don't have time.
I turned all my auto pays off. I'll pay you when I
well, yeah,
get the
because
money,
they'll double dip, and then they're gonna tell you, well, we'll credit your account. No, you will not. You will put my money right back at that time. Let's talk about the young lady who had a job and her children were staying in a hotel, and they were tipped off that her children were a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old,
2-year-old,
10-year-old and 2-year-old, and they were tipped off that the children were in the hotel and while she was at work. And they came and they arrested her and they gave the children to the father.
Where was the father? And the gentleman that I worked with today,
okay,
at the hotel right next door, he knows the father, he knows her. He said he wished he would have known that was happening because he would have told her. He would have told her to bring the kids there while he was working because she got arrested. He would have told her to bring the kids there and he would have made sure they were okay.
Well, she was saying that every hour somebody was checking on them. In that situation, I mean, yes, it's child endangerment, but doesn't it seem a little more? First of all, they living in a hotel, so clearly she was homeless. And
so I don't know the story.
I'm sharing it right now.
Okay.
So she's staying in a hotel. It was the Motel 6. Her and her children staying in the hotel, and she was at work. She's working at a pizza place. Am I correct on that? Okay. She's working at a pizza shop. They went down there and arrested her from the pizza shop because somebody tipped the police off and said that those children were in the hotel alone. Now, me personally, not that it was okay, but if you tipping them off, well, how come you're not watching them?
Thank you.
Well, I'm trying to find the crime.
The crime is that the child was 10 and the baby was 2. What is the age? Is the age 10 or 12?
There's no age. I don't know there. I don't think there is an age.
Or is it the maturity of the child?
I think the thing is that like I don't like a 2-year-old. If she left a 2-year-old by themselves, that's a whole different story, you know. But I don't know what the mentality. For me, it's just like, okay, if she had a home and she left those children in the home by themselves while she went out to work, would that still be the same thing? So, you know, I'm trying to figure out, would it be?
Because of their ages.
And where was the father at?
Exactly.
Where she had to leave her children to go to work.
Well, I got the answer to that one too.
Okay,
I was told that I guess a couple years ago there was a big fight on one of the streets up there on the south side there, and it made the news. That was the couple.
Okay, here's it. So I found this information. Most babysitters start working between the ages of 11 and 14 years old, but in most places there is no legal minimum age requirement to babysit.
And Ohio has that same thing. Oh, this is what Ohio says. Ohio has no legal. This is from the Beacon Journal. Ohio has no legal declared no law declaring the legal age a child can be left home alone. A few do have age limits where they have a law that I'm saying a few. Okay, let me preface this. When they say a few, they're talking about states. A few do have a age limit where they have a law that the state that states that, but Ohio does not. And this was from an article in 2019.
Okay. Let's go to the viewer. Jeanette says 13, she's like exactly 13 years old, but instead of reporting her, help her. That's the way that I feel. And here's the thing. She was there, okay, Troy out of Cleveland. She was there for a year and a half. Let me tell you what I saw this summer. That particular hotel, because y'all know I'm out in the streets. I got to see what's going on with the people. In the back of that particular hotel, it was families. And most of these families are homeless, and they're staying in the hotel. There's some agencies that will pay for you to stay in the hotel as well Found that out. And if you need more information, all you got to do is dial 211. Remember, we used to dial 411 911 211 and give you all the information that you need to help you. Okay. I saw little children on their bikes and stuff, and I said, wow, this is so weird. I had no idea. I was like oblivious to the fact that people were living in hotels, no, motels. And that's when I found out that there are some agencies out there that will pay. Now, we know that rent, listen, robbing you blind with this pandemic that we have going on, this global issue or situation that we're in, people are losing their homes. Apartments, it's hard to get an apartment. And some of the apartment owners are stealing application fee money. And I'm going to say exactly what it is, stealing application fee money. I have to pay you the application fee for you to run my application, and I haven't even seen the apartment.
Right.
Why? That is stealing. How do I know I even want this? So I'm not filling out this information to give you my information. I haven't even seen the apartment. No, I'm not interested. Well, we can't do tours. Well, we can't, because of the COVID, we can't show you the apartment. You better do like one of them, what's those things? The Zoom video, FaceTime, virtual thing.
Do the virtual.
Thank you. But you're talking application fees are 25 and 35. So if 100 people, listen, the apartment owners is about to be like Kylie Jenner. $25, $35 an application fee, and you know that person is not qualified, but yet you still take their application fee and you don't even run it. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, it should be coming against that.
The running it would be the issue. Like if they have the application fee and they are doing the appropriate thing with it, because I don't know what the cost is.
They're supposed to be doing a background check. Isn't that what the money is for?
That's the background check, yeah.
Yeah. You know, if there's no evidence of it being ran, like for example, if they want to check my credit and I never get a ding from the credit report from the credit bureau saying like your credit was ran,
somebody checked it,
then that's an issue.
Yes.
But people need to be knowledgeable enough to know that, like, okay, well, I thought you ran my credit. Why didn't I get a report back? You know, why does my Credit Karma not reflect?
And I said somebody inquired about my credit. I need my money back. And that's what people need to do. Listen, get an attorney. They got them. Listen, if you can make payments on LiPo and BBLs, you know what BBLs are?
No.
Brazilian butt lift.
I had no idea it was a Brazilian butt lift. If y'all paying for butt lifts and all that, get an attorney. And listen, it might be $35, but it's the principal. You know, $35 for the application fee. And it's like, okay, well, I'll take you to court for this.
Well, the thing is,
people
it's
get
like
your money.
The thing, when you talk about principle, you gotta look at it like this. How many, whenever somebody does something bad to me, I always think about, I need to take action because I don't know how many people they did this same thing to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, because some people be like, man, it's $35, move on. But the point is, it's like, this is
how many $35?
Yeah. If it's $10 $35, that's $350. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, yeah. And then, you know, some people are like, oh, karma. Yeah, karma is, I mean, for real, that's the action and the reaction.
Well, yeah, well, you know, yeah.
And I'm going, and I think that if you paid an application fee, and this is for the listening audience and the viewers, if you paid an application fee and you didn't get the ding that somebody inquired about your credit, call back and say, my credit was not run. I want my money back, because that's what they're doing to get over now. They are getting over. And like I said, you know, with people losing their homes and this young lady living there, like Troy said, for a year and a half, that's because you can't afford it. You can't afford to get an apartment because your credit is bad, or like you might have an eviction, or, you know, circumstances is different. That's an issue. And it's like, okay, well, I can't even find a place to stay. Let me go to like the Catholic Charities or wherever, you know, the organizations out there. Here, we'll have you stay in this hotel so that you can have shelter. But these people out here, these apartment owners are out here still, or the owners that are making the staff work. So let's be clear, you know, the staff, they just work there, you know, they're like, oh, okay, are charging this amount, and then you're giving cash. Please do a money order, do a check. And then they don't want to take checks. Why? Because you can't track it. You know, like I wanted to check because I don't want to show that it was withdrawn out. You got that stuff, get copies. I mean, they are taking, and we're getting robbed from both ends. You know, and it's like the person that is in need, is like, okay, well, I need a place to stay, but you're taking my $35 where that could have been a down payment. Call those places back. It's not too late. And then you can tell them this is during the COVID. This happened in this month. Who cares? And you never ran my credit. You never ran my credit.
Well, I mean, they should probably check with their credit bureau too. I mean,
and grade them on the credit bureau. Yeah. And a lot of people like they're renting their homes and then they never run it. Okay, but you got my personal information. What are you doing? Why are you keeping it? But for my young people that's looking for places to stay, do not fill out an application fee without even seeing the place, because that's a scam. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And also look at the apartment, you know, that you're going to address. If it's a personal place, Google it to make sure that that person that you're communicating with, that's the same name. Make sure it's the same person. You know, I always do the show, don't get jacked for your income tax. This here, listen, when you're in need, why are you keeping people down? Why are you taking from? It's some straight up, well, that's why we like Robin Hood.
Listen, and then there's some places that when they advertise,
take from the rich and give to the poor instead of taking from the poor and give it to the rich. Like, this is crazy. Go ahead.
Some of these places, they advertise and show you pictures on what the websites, like the rental sites and home sites. And then when you go to the place, you be like,
let me tell you,
like the picture. Yeah, that's another one.
I looked at it. Listen, I looked at this one apartment that was laid out because I figured I could downsize. It's just me. Laid out. It had a loft, the whole nine. Now they did have a loft, but it wasn't a loft. It was a hallway. And you look downstairs. That's not a loft, but the way that the pictures looked on the internet, it looked amazing. I was like, oh, this is it. Went in there, girl. They had a whirlpool refrigerator. I didn't even know they still sold that.
Yeah, I've been to several.
It was Manila yellow, old school. And I was just outdone. I said, this is false advertisement. And the lady who showed me the apartment, she said, I showed her the picture. She said, I told my boss, you can't do that. He'll grab pictures off the internet and you're thinking that that's it. And then when you go in, you're like, wait a minute, what? Like, get out of here. It was a mess. It was a mess.
And it's a mess how people like do that. And you could tell it's the same place, but it don't look nowhere near as good as the pictures made it look. And you like,
they need to update, but they need to stop taking pictures off the internet and passing it as theirs,
or taking pictures of the place and then because this
is the way it looked when it first shot. They Photoshop, and that's terrible.
This is the age of Photoshop, so they Photoshopping these pictures too.
Okay, South Carolina, thank you. We're going to the viewer. I made a post about the application fee. Very good. See, and so this is like all over. This is a mess. All right, let's go. Let's go, Roogle. We about to talk your politics real quick. Nancy Pelosi, she said BS on McConnell.
She went off.
She said, now that's some BS. So what was it? What was the last result? 57-43 or something?
Mm-hmm. I just had that up. Let me go back and look.
Give us the accuracy.
57 not guilty and 43 guilty.
There were 57 that said guilty and 43 that said not guilty.
Not guilty, and then he was acquitted. So he about to go for it. Explain it to the people.
What was Nikki asking?
How is he acquitted if it was 57 that said he was guilty and 43 that said he's not guilty?
Because you need, it's not a simple majority when you have this. You got to have at least 67 votes. So that's the in favor of being guilty. So that was where it fell off. And she was saying BS on McConnell because afterwards he gave a speech pretty much condemning Trump. I mean, it was clear that he said, yeah, I think his actions were responsible, but he didn't vote that way. So that's the difference.
But wasn't he the main one when all of that first happened that said he was going to vote to impeach Trump? He was the main one.
Well, I don't know if I don't know that part of it, but I tell you this, I'm kind of disappointed with Portman from Ohio. I thought that because he made mention that he was not going to seek another term, so I thought that he was going to do the right thing there, and of course he didn't. Maybe he looks at trying to run for president, so therefore he didn't want to disturb the base. But yeah, I was surprised with him and Mitch McConnell because I think shoot, Mitch McConnell could have shaped the difference on how that vote turns out. But the thing is that you got to look at the root of it. Is that they don't want to. They don't care how they get in office, even if it's motivated through hate. They don't care.
All I want to know for them Republicans, what is it about Donald Trump? Was y'all doing a Monica Lewinsky on him? That's all I want to know. Was y'all on y'all knees? Because that's what it seemed like to me. Y'all was on y'all knees in that office, bobbing
for apples,
something. Because yeah, that just don't make no sense.
Or is it the party?
At this point,
or I think it might be the party, because just like what Roogle was saying, you don't know where they're trying to go. Maybe they want to be president, the stepping stone.
But the party or the people, the
same people
that went there.
But we know the Republicans. We know the Republicans always was party over people.
Yeah, that's true. And see, and this is where people need to start thinking, especially those who vote Republican. They're going party over people. Y'all went there to voice your opinion about you thinking that it was, Trump got wronged and he was cheated. And you're a Republican and they did party over people. Some of y'all people died. Y'all Republican people died. And you still.
Somebody was murdered.
Where's your brain at? I don't understand. If you are a Republican, and you are all for Trump, and you see what happened, they don't care whether you died, whether your family member died or nothing. And you still want to vote Republican, or you still talk about Trump 2024. Where is your brain cells at? I mean, really, that would be enough to make me switch parties. Oh, so y'all doing it like this? We coming here to save your job and help you get your job or whatever. People getting killed and behind helping you, and y'all just, I don't understand it. Somebody make me understand that one.
Do you think the threats could be a reason?
I think the thing is that when you're in a position like that, you have to make selfless. You have to be selfless, and if you're not selfless, you shouldn't be in that role.
Exactly.
I'm
trying to understand the whole. Listen, that man incited a whole riot.
No, insurrection. Don't call it a riot. Insurrection is
insurrection, riot. It's all the same thing to me. He incited insurrection, whatever. They was in there trying to take over the Capitol. Some of them was in there with the intent of hurting some of the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi being one. Some of them even went in there thinking about hurting Mike Pence. Wasn't he the running mate? Wasn't he the vice president of Donald Trump? Why were you in there trying to hurt him? And it's just, it really blows my mind how some of these people think. They are just all for it regardless, because some of the, sorry to say, but some of these Republicans, they are gunning for another civil war. And I'm just letting them know I'm the one that you want to try, because I don't care about rocking that orange jumpsuit when it comes to my self-defense and defending my family.
Well, I ain't gonna visit you, and I ain't putting no money on your book.
I'm sorry, love you, but listen,
I'll
try me if you want to, and I'll be rocking that orange jumpsuit. So if it's Civil War you want, you ready it here. I'm ready.
But let's just
go ahead, Roogle, bring it back.
I don't even like to even thought about this whole Civil War thing and that sort of thing. Because I mean, that's one thing that we need to focus on is our civility, and it, I don't think that they look at this as a threat. The government itself, even if the Republican leadership didn't look at it, the government itself, FBI, CIA, they look at white supremacy as one of the number one threats against America, so I think there's people that know this is wrong. The problem is that you get someone who adds gasoline and wind to the fire in a Donald Trump. The issue is that we don't know what time what will happen over time. I tell you this, we just need to make sure that whatever happens over this next 4 years, that Mr. Biden, President Biden, is very successful in being able to sway people to vote in a way that's going to be good for all Americans. He had 84 million people vote for him. So hopefully the next person who's a good person, good for everyone in this country, gets 100 million. Like, so there's no question, you know what I mean? Whoever that should be. But I mean, we got to look at this. Like, I was thinking about this today. Biden truly should have ran after Obama left office. Yes. He truly should have ran then. But everybody, you know, it seemed like everybody was like, we're going to let Hillary go in there. We're going to make history again. Instead of just being like, let's have her be Biden's running mate and get Biden in there. You know what I mean? Just keep it moving. You know, keep it moving with people you know you can get it done with, you know? And not to say that she couldn't get the job done, but she just couldn't get elected. That was the problem with her.
Think it would have even worked then, because Biden was vice president of Obama. Folks hated Obama so much that we probably would have had this problem still.
Well, I think we got it now. Let me go to a viewer. So pin that real quick. A viewer says that the reason is that they are scared that Trump will divide the party. They were talking about that party division. To stop that, they agreed to not convict him. If Trump splits the party, there will be 3 parties, and they could lose the strong
And that's perfectly okay. That, to me, that's perfectly okay, because I'd rather see people like, what's her name, Taylor Greene or somebody, be in the Trump party that's gonna be a minority party compared to what the Republican base would probably be, and have them be over there trying to get into office, and instead of like, okay, we're gonna use that momentum from these hate groups and these people who just want to take over the country and put any crazy person in office. I'd rather see that split in that party, and then, you know, and then see like people make that decision. Are you gonna be a true insurrectionist and line up with Trump, or are you going to be up here with the party, well, how they say it, the party of Lincoln? You know what I mean? Like, I mean that's the thing. And that's one of the issues with America too, is that we have a party system and not a strong third contender.
Okay. I like that. I saw where Trump was walking off, and he did a thumbs up, and he thanked the Republican Party for the second acquittal. And I know we are so done with him. Like, please, when can this be over? All right, let's go with the in Ohio. Uncle DeWine is upset because he feels as though that people, I guess the schools were to reopen. They signed the contract that they were reopened by March. But he said that some of these superintendents or schools have not held up to their bargain or their end of the deal. So he's upset because some of the schools are still going virtual and not ready to open up. What's your thoughts on the schools opening now since the vaccine came out? Was offered.
I'm still on the fence with that, because I mean, these are babies, and like you always say, kids are like little petri dishes. Yes, but I would listen. Houston, they've been back in school.
Okay,
they've been back in school.
Okay,
since October.
Okay, so
like around November 15th, they went back to school. Because they went the day after I came back. So it's like some of them been in school, some of them haven't. I'm just still on the fence, but
Uncle DeWine is upset.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with that. But like, some of these kids have gone to school. I mean, because you can get it. I talked to a lady the other day who said that she has been doing what she's supposed to do. She has not visited anyone. She only goes to get her essentials. And when she goes out, she's been double masking. And right when we were talking, she was like, right now I have COVID. So and she's like, she blames that on her roommate, because her roommate was well, I only stay around my same part of people, but you don't know your same part of people have a different part of people, and they have a different part of people, and they're going around. So now this poor lady who has been doing what she's supposed to do has it because her roommate brought it to her.
Okay.
So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. It really is, because they need to be back in school, but then, you know, like if the parent is going out to work, and or like some of these parents still going out and partying and everything else, they can get it from being around somebody and bring it back to their baby if it during virtual, just as much as the kids could get it around being around each other in school. So it's like, what do you do? And like the projection for this, if people are not complying, and you still got people not complying, because like I said, in the hotel, there's people that be coming in, it's white, but
With
white
no
and black,
mask.
with no mask, no matter how many times we tell them, can you please, you have to put your mask on, they still will come down, oh, can I get a mask? Because I forgot my mask upstairs. So I'm just telling them now, you see my face.
Right. Okay, Roogle. So what's your thoughts? Should they be in school or not? Because Uncle Dewan is upset that that Ohio schools are not opening in March as they promised.
Well, the schools didn't promise. He predicted that he wanted to. He
Well, he
wanted
said
it
that they
to do
didn't
that.
hold up to their end of the deal.
Well, I think the issue was that like this, and he lifted the stay at home orders from 10 p.m. to 5 in the morning, right? So
Right.
to me, you only put, let's say he wouldn't have lifted that order and he'd have said, we getting the vaccine out there. And so therefore we're not going to lift the order, but we're going to have kids go back to school, you know. Okay. And the reason I'm bringing up that whole thing is like this. You're causing another way of that disease to get into the home by having hours open for, you know, for late night activities and things like that. And the essential thing would have been like, well, how do we get children back in school versus how do we get people back at bars? And I think I think the plan should have been more around how you get kids back in school versus, and when I say that, it's like, if I have people, like, for example, it's a day of, I don't know what you want to call this, holiday or whatever, but some people may some people may choose to go out. I chose to go to the grocery store. You know what I mean? I mean, just because you lift the order don't mean that I'm gonna like fall into what you're saying. But I would say this though, even if you vaccinate all, even if you vaccinate all the teachers and everything like that, you still have children that there's no vaccination for children. You know, we don't know what those households look like. We don't know, like, especially in minority communities, what the impact would be from just having that whole back to normal setting and then going back in the people's homes may not have the healthcare provisions that others do. You know, and I'm not trying to just make it an issue about poverty and things like that, but unfortunately it is that, you know what I mean? The resources, like remember this, at the beginning of when the whole pandemic happened, Uncle DeWine, he wanted to cut two areas, education and Medicaid. You got a pandemic and you want to cut healthcare?
Right.
Okay.
And education.
And education. You know, I mean, why would you do that? You know, so you know, I mean, to me, that decision should be made based off of, like, if you want to make sure if you want to get kids back to school, then start to ensure that families who want the vaccination can get the vaccination. And when I'm talking about the families, I'm not talking about children, because it hasn't been a vaccine made for children. I'm talking about those adults.
Okay. It is a double-edged sword. Let's go to the viewers. One said, I understand, but get the teachers vaccinated. The children are better in school than at home because of violence against children. And it is sad that you have those issues at home, but education starts at home. Another viewer in South Carolina, my boys' district is doing this. Let me see, is doing this on Tuesday. I work in different school districts, and they came back in October. So there's different ones. You said Texas went back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is a double-edged sword. That's out of Cleveland. Children, there are a lot of children in poverty, and because of the pandemic, the parents can afford internet service. Now, with some,
Hold on,
go
though.
ahead. I see your hand. Go for it.
Because there's been money sent out from the federal government. It's called the initial. It's elementary, secondary school emergency relief, right? So, for example, Youngstown, like $5.6 million, $5.67 million came to Youngstown when it first hit, when they first started that money. Okay. Youngstown itself got about 4 million of those dollars because there's other charter schools and things like that that feed off of the public system. So they got their money. Now they're slated to have 22, well, they're slated to be almost about $22 million coming into Youngstown for this particular purpose. It's the second round. So like I'm saying those money things because when that money came in, that money was used to not only get devices, but to create hotspots and things like that for families to be able to connect to the internet. Okay. So those people in those communities where that's happening at, you got to know the funding stream, and you got to know what questions that you got to know what questions that need to be asked. Like, hey, how are you using this government relief money? Like, you know, I mean, because don't get me wrong, connectivity is going to always be an issue because it's new to families and things like that. It's new to families in a real way. I'll run into people on a daily basis who'll say, well, I'm good because I got internet on my phone. I'm like, but you're not good because you don't have you're using cellular data, which is going to slow down and all that other stuff. By the time you really need to use it, you're going to have a lot of issues. So, you know, it's people understand, it's the education part of it, but it's also knowing what you have. Because I know some people, they say, well, I got this one deal, it's like $5 a payment a month. I'm like, yeah, but you're only getting maybe like 5 megabits per second.
Okay. Right.
You know, so you're not going to be able to truly use that effectively for what you need to be done. But what this is though, as a country, we need to look at that paradigm shift that we need to make. Just like we got all these electric poles up and there's telephone lines on there. Now we move from the telephone lines. Now we need a whole nother infrastructure of fiber optic cable that's going to provide us a strong internet signal, like not just in rural communities where people can't afford signals. I mean, rural communities and urban ones where people may have issues with affordability. Rural ones where they have no connectivity, you know, whatsoever. We got this country needs to be built back better. Biden, 2021.
Okay.
Right. And I like with the virtual, there's also a problem with a lot of the families that couldn't afford the devices, so schools started giving devices, you know.
Right.
But you know, my cousin was complaining when this first started and school, you know, was done with for the summer, that a lot of the parents were pawning.
Yeah, they were. We
devices. So when
we talked about
school
that
started again, their kids didn't have the devices. Listen here, parents. Listen good.
And that's not all parents.
Not all parents, but for those of you hood rats, I'm sorry, because only a hood rat would do that. You hood rats that were pawning your children's device, like laptops, knowing they were going to need them again for school. That was not given to you. That was given to you for your child, for their education. That was not for you because you wanted some quick money to get your hair done, your nails done, go to the club when it opened up or whatever. That was for your child's education. And if you don't have sense enough to put your child first, then you don't need them kids. That just don't make no sense. And that caused a lot of issues too. So that's why I'm like on the fence with it as far as, you know, the kids getting together and passing the COVID. But some of these kids do need to be back in school because they got parents that ain't got better sense. They don't have the sense of a gnat.
Well, I just want to hop in here because I hear what you're saying, and I, you know, but what I will add to that is that government showed during this time period that they don't understand poverty. And the reason I'm bringing that up is I'll give you a quick example. So me, and this is fictional, me and my church, you know, we found out that there was a person who was newly attending, and the kids, you know, somehow we found out they didn't have a refrigerator, that every day they have fast food. So us being good old Christians, we got together and we said, let's go get that family a refrigerator. We went and got them a refrigerator, groceries and all that stuff, came to our house and was like, surprise, look what we've done for you, because we're good Christians, right? So we give them a refrigerator, we fill it all up with food, and then about 3 weeks or so later, someone goes to the house just to give them more groceries, right? And they notice that the refrigerator is gone. And so then at that point, people are like, well, why would they get rid of the refrigerator? Well, the mom had to make a decision. Was it better for me to use this cooler that I had in the corner versus selling that refrigerator and paying rent? And the reason I bring that up is because what we saw in the beginning was that there was only relief for people who actually had jobs, and not relief for people who were just had bad, you know, had bad work experience. I mean, who didn't, maybe they didn't have a work experience or anything like that, but it would happen to us, eliminated people's hustle, whatever that hustle would be. Hopefully it's a legitimate one. But the government's response to that, as far as like ensuring that people, you know, the only reason that there was a eviction cancellation was because the CDC wanted that to happen, not because government came together and said, hey, we need to make sure that we are directly paying for people to stay in their homes because of this happening. But what they did do was say, well, we'll just give money so other groups can give you food and things like that or whatever. But there was an issue of stability. Even if there was some landlords that wouldn't kick you out, it didn't stop landlords from being able to do that process until the CDC said, we need to ban evictions at this point in time because it's going to cause a bigger problem. So I cannot fault the parent who may have sold the device if I don't know all the circumstances. But what I will say is that we didn't do a good job of handling this, even so much to where Biden said, I got to unilaterally pass this measure to give people $1,400 a month, when initially, when that whole thing happened, every American probably should have got $1,000 a month, like Andrew Yang was running off of when he was trying to go for president.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm going to be quiet now.
No,
It's a lot.
But it wasn't a lot. It was enough, and it needed to be said, because you do have that, and you don't know the situation. And like you said, when you were, you know, your analogy as far as like the good old Christian, we're gonna go take this refrigerator over there. But here's the problem: just like you said, you don't know the circumstances, so they sell the refrigerator to pay their rent. But you have the good old Christian as they're talking about him like a dog, like they done sold the dog a refrigerator, but not knowing the circumstances. So we have to stop judging people if you don't know the entire story. Or let's look at it this way: even if it was, you got the refrigerator over there, what if they didn't have any lights? You know what I mean? You got to look at the larger picture. And yes, there are some that will sell, hawk, whatever, the computers, but that's not everybody. And everyone shouldn't be punished for what one person or the minority is doing.
And that's why I differentiated
I
the good parents from the hood rats.
That's why you make the voice. That's why you make the voice. We need the balance.
That's why I said what I said. This wasn't for all parents. This was for the hood rats.
And I think there may be justification for your statement. I just know that, like, I've seen poverty like you would not believe, you know. And like when I even think back on some of the cases I've seen, you know, like when I hear about the lady who has her kid in a hotel, the first thing I say, well, what's the crime? You know, like identify the crime to me. And then, like, I mean, they weren't there they weren't there without, you know, it didn't seem like they were there without resources. It didn't seem like they were there, you know, around crack whatever paraphernalia and none of that stuff. She just needed America to have a better system for daycare for her, for childcare.
While she was at work, she was
at the
club.
She was at work.
And it's tough now because what happens? All the restaurants and stuff can be open, but all the daycares it can't be open.
Because of COVID, right?
Yeah, I mean, so you know,
so it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and you look at this story as how this pandemic has truly hurt women in the workplace. in a way that like it has not impacted men. It's impacted working moms in a
Yes.
in a really, really bad way, you know. And then like the relief, like we shouldn't have to wait for these dudes in Washington to come up and say, you know what, we just need to give people money on the regular.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We just need to get them on a regular. Like right now, they're like, well, who's gonna pay for it? Right now, we're all paying for it because
listen, people are doing GoFundMe's for the Gorilla Glue girl. If that girl has, that young lady, if you know her, I don't know, if she has like a GoFundMe, please tag me if you guys are my Facebook friends.
She actually does.
If you guys are my Facebook friends, if you know, on the Shop Talk with Mel page, all those pages, it's at Shop Talk with Mel. Please tag me, because guess what? If you're giving for Brazilian butt lifts, the people getting GoFundMe's, Janet Jackson, remember the Janet Jackson concert tickets? They was doing GoFundMe, people paying for that. And then you got what's the last GoFundMe? Something nutty. They did a GoFundMe for, and they making much more money. That all this money.
Oh,
that girl might need
yeah, she does have a GoFundMe.
Well, good. Okay, so somebody, if you've seen
fees.
it, for her legal fees, please, because I'm with Roogle. What's the crime? And once he read it, that in the state of Ohio, there is no age limit. So I can appreciate that. Thanks a lot for saying that. And it was the maturity level. Mm-hmm. So, and then she had somebody checking on her child every hour. Why did y'all even take her away? Would that been the case? And I'm going to bring this up when we have brown skin. Brown skin is on Monday. We do brown skin. 4:00, the new show, Shop Talk with Mel. Hey, make sure you go to Spreaker.com on your favorite podcast under Let's Shop Talk. But this one for Monday is brown skin. We talk about all the issues of being brown, and not just the issues, the good things and the bad things about being brown. So if you want to join into that, you can definitely do that. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, go ahead and inbox me. And that's brown skin, because I'm going to bring that up. Is it because she was brown skinned that you took her to jail? Could that possibly be it? Like, why? And you go to her job, pick her up. The father already got them. Why is she being arrested? Why? And if she was the other way, you know what I mean?
My question is, especially with CPS,
if she was white,
I know there's some.
But what if she was white? Would they have taken her? No. On what grounds? Because just like Roogle said, what was the crime? Roogle?
How many of them have gotten their children back, and they've done worse than that? They were abusing their children or whatever. CPS gave the children back to them, and then we are looking in the news and because that child has died for neglect.
Well, yeah, that's an extreme. Exactly. You went all the way to the extreme.
No, I'm just saying, because this girl was out there trying to make a living. She's living in a hotel as it is. She's trying to make a living. She doesn't have anyone to babysit. I don't know what the issue was between her and father, but she has somebody checking on her children while she's at work every hour on the hour. You take those kids away from her, throw her in jail. Meanwhile, you have parents who were abusing their kids, or their boyfriend was abusing the kids, or doing something to the kids. You go take the kids, you give them back to the parent after their little court hearing, and then now we're reading
and nobody's going to jail
in the
and they're
paper.
Not going to jail. They're not going to jail. But we're gonna say that for brown skin. So let's get back on here, because the show, we get ready to wrap it on up. Liz, I wanted to give it to you yesterday, but we had to come on because we had a whole lot to talk. And like I said, on your favorite podcast, Let's Shop Talk, you'll find your girl right there. Okay. And we'll definitely do it. Also on Wednesday, we have Hump Day, Hip Hop Hump Day. That's what we're giving it to you. Yeah. We got Deron that's coming on this Wednesday. We'll talk about it because he was with the Recreation Crew.
Okay.
Back in the day, the Recreation Crew. I remember that. Look, all of them. But with that young lady, again, like I said, if she has, and you said that she does, want to make sure it's legit, please tag me. I will actually share it for her legal fees. Like, this is something maybe even to get her a place, get her, like she has a job already. It's just, it's just sad.
Is friends with her.
Oh,
very good friends with her. So I think she had mentioned something about a GoFundMe. Okay. I'll tell you after.
Okay. And I just want to help this young lady that's trying to help herself. See, it's different when you want to help somebody who's trying to help themselves. I want to talk about a school as far as like going back. Boardman High School, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Boardman High School. They're saying that their high school students are going back because they're being lazy, and with this virtual learning, they're going to get, according to teacher at Boardman, she said what they have now is that they're going to get the grade that they deserve. Because remember, before last year when we first started this pandemic, everybody was just going through. So Boardman High School, they're being lazy, not doing their work, and they're getting the grade that they deserve. So they're putting them right back in school. I want to talk about the importance of parents teaching their children. And I'm going to say this because this happened and it was just like a light bulb went off. When you talk to little people, little babies and infants, they look at your mouth to try to pronounce the words. Interesting enough, we have masks. So they're seeing everybody with masks, the little people looking up. They're looking at the mask. When I have the little people to come in, they're coming to the clinic, I'll have them far back, pull your mask down, let's speak, because everything is muffled. So just imagine a baby. You learn how to speak. You learn how to speak by watching and you mimic. Mm-hmm. So if you have a mask on, how's that child learning? Just like cursive writing. They're doing away with that. Roogle, help me. Let me know if I'm wrong. Help me out, okay? Cursive writing, they were taking that out to school. I don't have a problem being a translator. Y'all can pay me $100 because y'all don't know how to read in cursive. Okay, when we get older. And I'll translate. They took that out of school. The new math doesn't do the remainders. Am I right or wrong? Yeah. That's why a lot of bridges are falling, because we need those remainders. They're just rounding up or rounding down. So we need to, I think, Roogle, you said this many years ago, their first experience, and hit your mute, their first, learning experiences at home, and it starts at home?
Parents are the primary educators. So the thing is, whatever it is, like for example, whatever it is you want your children to learn, you have to instill in the house. If in any situation, if you live in Boardman, or if you live in Bel Air, everything that you want your child to learn, you have to enforce in the home. You just reinforce in the home, reinforce the things that are being taught, and enhance the things that the school district won't teach them. I think years ago I talked about changing brakes on a car was the example I gave you. Unless I was in like a auto class or something like that, you wouldn't have that experience. But that's something you would learn at home. Like was it home ec? Remember home economics? That was something where it gave you a practical use of the knowledge you were gaining in school to be able to apply to your life experience. And now the whole trend is we want people to have life skills. But those life skills are embedded through a fundamental education that takes part in traditional learning, and the other one is in the culture of what the family brings to the table about that child's learning experience. If you want your child to be a reader, then you should have magazines and books around. You should read, that's the thing. If you want to be an artist, or you want them to have the ability to draw, give them the ability to be able to draw. You know what I'm saying? Like, give them some paper or something like that. I think what we run into a lot is that some people feel that the school system should be the end all be all for everything, and unfortunately, it has tried to be the end all be all for everything because of what hasn't been done that would routinely be done outside of school.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the viewer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Salvage, something like that. He agrees with you 100%. Roogle, he said the parents are the first teacher. And then he said, right, what he said, talking about what you said, or she, I can't tell. But how, like you said, home economics, all those things were important. We actually had that. Sometimes people take things out of school and implement other things, but they don't remember what they had. The smart people, you see me with the air quotes, okay? The smart people sit up there and be like, oh, okay. But remember, you got this way because you had that. So here's something, it was impactful. You're like, okay, we don't need that, we'll implement this. But wait, we're missing something. Just like with this new math, I need to know the basics. Carry the one, tell me the basics first before we change it to, let's just do this because I can't understand it. I want to hurry up and get this out the way, and then we are going to end this. There are people, and we'll get somebody on here to talk. There are people who have had the vaccination, they have been inoculated with the COVID vaccine, and then they became positive for COVID. It was detected. And some people are saying because they didn't give they didn't give the vaccine time to work. Well, what do you mean I didn't give it? I didn't try to go out and go get COVID. Like I didn't go out and say, hey, give me COVID. So there are people that have that. There are people who have side effects. Please treat those side effects. I want you guys around. I need you guys to keep listening to us. That's it in a nutshell. Keep listening to us. It's all about edutainment. Educate yourself. Education is important. And when Roogle was talking about removing education and medical, so come on now, we have to educate our own. And if it's not being done, don't expect things to be done in the school. If it's not being done at home, how can you expect the teacher to do everything in the schoolyard?
Right.
And that's a throwback, schoolyard. At school, you have to teach them at home as if the school isn't teaching them their numbers or their letters or learning to read. Have them prepared. What is it? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. The 5 P's. You got to do it. All right, lovely people, that is my time. I thank you so much for giving us this time. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always unmute your phone. Unmute your Zoom because I need you on. Always love you. Until next week, people. Shut
up.
All right. Peace, lovely people.